This is a very quick yoga snack to uplift your energy levels and even your mood. So, supportive throughout your cycle, anytime you just need a quick fluid practice to move energy through the body. It's a great one for anytime you're feeling stuck. It can really help clear pathways of flow. So, I love this one in all phases, but especially during the luteal phase when maybe we're wanting something a little more gentle, but we still want to sweat. We still want to create that inner heat. This one is going to deliver. We're not moving too deeply into any particular posture because it is a quicker practice. In the realm of yoga, this is on the shorter side at 35 minutes. So this one, I want you just to really connect to your breath, allow the movement to be fluid. We want to take out some of the hard edges and just listen to your body. If you want to move through that sun salutation A, the connecting vinyasa between sides, between postures, by all means tap into it. But if you're feeling like you want to spend those extra few breaths in downward dog, I want you to lean into that too. So this one is accessible for all levels. It will provide a challenge both in some of the balance and the pace, but I want you to really tap into what your body needs. If you're in kind of that fiery state, maybe you're wanting to try on some more challenging variations, or maybe you're wanting to tap into more of the grounding quality by slowing things down. Both ends of the spectrum are available in today's practice. You won't need any equipment, just a comfortable space to move around. And I want you to kind of release all expectations that you might have for what this practice should look like. I want you to really listen to your body and just let it be whatever it needs to for today, so that you walk away feeling uplifted, you walk away feeling more clear and focused for the rest of your day. So let's get started. Welcome to your quick yoga snack for today. This practice will move us through some sun salutations with the purpose of moving energy. We want to elevate mood and wake up the body just a little bit, so we won't be moving too deeply into any particular pose or pattern. Today we're looking just to, again, move energy through the body. So keep that in mind as we take on a more fluid pace. I want you to stay connected to your breath and don't worry about hitting the deepest expression of any of these poses. We will take our time, we will be intentional, but we want it to have that rhythmic pacing to it. So we will start with sun salutation A. Allow your feet to come about hips width, maybe shoulder width apart, just arrive at the top of your mat. I want us to take a moment to align the spine. So from the feet, start to stack the body all the way up, hips over knees and ankles, then your shoulders over your hips, crown of the head reaching straight up. And then for just a moment, scan your body from head to toe. Just notice how you're showing up, where you feel sensation, maybe some lingering tightness in places, maybe you feel spacious in others. And then start to focus attention on your breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose, make a sound. Twice more, inhale. And exhale. Last one here, deepen. And exhale. We'll begin our sun salutations. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. With a generous bend in your knees, swan dive, fold over your legs. Let the head and neck relax. Inhale, ripple up the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank pose. Stay for the inhale. On your exhale, shift the shoulders forward, bend the elbows straight back, lower to the belly. Untuck the toes, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, cobra, hug the elbows into your lower ribs. Exhale, return, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll stay for a breath or two here, just landing in downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Press the hands down and forward, lift the hip creases up and back. Then as you inhale, gaze forward, lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, lightly step your feet to your hands. Inhale, lift the spine halfway once again. Exhale, fold deeply, relax the head. Inhale, reverse, keep the spine straight and strong as you lift up, reach up, look up. And as you exhale, hands melt down through the heart. Starting to warm the body now. Again, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, reach out and over your legs, forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, step the feet back to plank. We can inhale here. And then exhale once again, lower all the way to the belly. Bend the elbows back. Untuck the toes. I want you to drag your palms energetically back until you feel a lift in the chest. Option for upward dog here if your spine's feeling ready. For upward dog, we lift the hips, thighs, and shins off the mat. The shoulders are in line with the wrists. We're broadening across the chest, activating the legs, pressing the toes back nice and strong. Then as you exhale, send the hips up and back and flatten the feet. Just a breath here. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, gaze forward, bend your knees, lift your heels. Exhale, step your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift your spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Keep the spine long as you reach up, look up. Exhale, hands melt down through the heart. Last one, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Empty the breath completely. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Stay for the inhale. You have your options here. You can lower to the belly for cobra or upward dog, or let's try on chaturanga. So shift the shoulders forward, bend the elbows straight back, float the chest, body is a plank, and then roll over your toes, upward dog, broaden across the chest, stretch the legs back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for a breath or two. So as we move through that connecting vinyasa, that sequence of sun salutation A, know that you can always come down to the belly, enjoy cobra pose, or you can experiment with upward dog and chaturanga. Inhale, gaze forward, bend your knees, lift your heels. Exhale, step your feet to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, maybe press the shins to get a longer spine, and exhale, fold once again. Inhale, reach up, stretch the arms overhead, gaze toward your fingertips. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release your arms by your sides, mountain pose, samastitihi. Let's bring the big toes to touch next. We'll start now with our sun salutation B with a few modifications or variations to add a little bit of energy. Take a big breath in and a slow breath out. When you're ready, inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit back, reach the arms nice and high. Coil the pubic bone up toward the navel, stretch up through the chest, even if that means you can't bend as deeply in the knees. Drop the shoulder blades down the back. Draw the front ribs in. Sink back into the heels. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a big inhale breath. As you exhale, aim your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Wrap the left float ribs underneath you, prayer twist. Look at your knees and hips, make sure they're facing forward, and then press your top hand into your bottom hand, leverage a deeper twist, maybe gaze over your right shoulder. Notice if your hips popped up, can you drop them down? Sink weight back into the heels. Try to lengthen the left side waist, even as you're feeling that compression of the twist. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Then as you're ready with your next inhale, come through chair pose, reach the arms up. Hands come back to the heart, sink back into your chair. Big breath in. This time as you exhale, twist to the left. Aim your right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Try not to disturb the position of your legs. So hips and knees stay facing forward, top hand presses into the bottom. I want you to create the quality of expansion across the chest. Lengthen into the sides of the waist. Stretch the crown of the head forward. As you do, sink the hips back. Shift the weight into the heels. We'll enjoy one more big breath. Inhale. Squeeze the inner knees, inner thighs to the midline. Exhale. Inhale, come through center chair pose. Exhale, fold over your legs. So here, that connecting vinyasa, lots of options for you. Inhale, halfway lift. You can take the direct path to downward dog or find plank pose. To the belly or halfway down in chaturanga, we exhale. Your back bend, either cobra, hips are down, or upward dog, hips are lifted. Both ways, your legs are stretching back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the big toes to touch. Heavy the left heel. Inhale, right leg rises. Keep the hips square for this round. Exhale, step your right foot through between your hands. Keep that back heel lifted. Find your strongest lunge here. So key actions are the right hip crease drops down, left thigh wants to lift. You're pressing your right shin forward, left heel back. Feel that power in the legs, and then hug the feet toward the midline. Create some buoyancy. Slowly rise. Inhale, reach up. Crescent lunge here. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Don't lose the bend in that front knee. Connect with all 10 toes and the balls of both feet. And then we're going to inhale, tap the back knee down. Exhale, draw the elbows into your sides. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug the elbows in. We'll take 3 more breaths like this. Inhale and exhale. Keep these shoulders floating over the hips. Last one. Stay here in your crescent lunge. Reach the arms overhead. And then we'll start to lean forward, take the arms back. Reach the crown of the head in the opposite direction to the fingertips. Then transfer the weight from your left leg to your right, airplane. Once you get there, refine the position of the pelvis. Level the hip points. Stretch the toes back. Reach the crown of the head forward. Spread the right toes. So you've got that connection of all 4 corners of your standing foot to the ground. Last big breath here. And then slowly release the hands. Let the left toes land softly behind you. Option to step back straight to downward dog or travel through your vinyasa plank. Exhale to belly or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale, left leg rises. Hips stay square and even here. Exhale, step your left foot through. Find your lunge. Create those key actions. Left hip crease down, right thigh lifts. Left shin forward, right heel back. Hips are square and even. Inhale, reach, crescent lunge. Give yourself a moment to find this position. And then we'll add a little bit of dynamic pulsation here. So as you inhale, come down, hug the elbows. Exhale, reach up. Straighten that back leg. Inhale. And exhale. I want, if you can, keep the bend in the front knee the same the entire time. Just feel that power in the back leg. Let's take 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one like this. Come into your crescent lunge, straighten that back leg. On your exhale, arms reach back, crown of the head forward. Feel that power in the front leg. Transfer the weight from back foot to front. Float that leg up, airplane. Square the hips, level the hip bones. So we're not popping that right hip open. That leg stretches straight back. One more big breath. Spread the left toes, maybe even lift the left toes off the mat. And then gently touch the fingertips down. Right foot touches down. Option for vinyasa. Step it back. Move through with your breath rhythm. We'll connect in downward facing dog. Step the big toes to touch. Press down and forward with the finger pads. Soften heart, belly, chest toward the thighs. Then as you inhale, lift the heels high up off the mat. Turn the toes to the left, heels to the right. Come onto the knife edge, the pinky toe side of your right foot. Stack the feet or keep them staggered. You can even bring your left foot down in front for side plank. So I love the entry from downward dog rather than from plank because it creates a stronger loading angle in the shoulder. Press down through your supporting hand, reach the top arm either straight out, straight towards the ceiling or overhead. If you're overhead, try to turn the palm to face the floor, thumb points behind you. Press down through all points of contact with the floor to create that big, beautiful arc in the side waist. We'll be here just one more breath. And then slowly transition to the other side. So all 10 toes to the right, heels to the left. Reach the arm up. Option to stretch it overhead, palm faces down. So we anchor left hand, left foot into the mat, and we create this arc, this incredible shape that exists in nature. We have it reflected in our bodies. Come back through center, find downward dog. Inhale, gaze forward between your thumbs, bend your knees, lift your heels. On your exhale, empty the breath, step or lightly float the feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release your arms by your side, Samastitihi. We have 2 more rounds of sun salutation B. So collect your breath here. Notice the heat that you might have circulating. We bring the big toes to touch. We'll start in chair pose once again. Inhale, chair pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Sink the hips back and down. Lift up through the chest. So it's like you're pressing your heart into your thumbs. Then start to shift the weight from your right to your left. Cross your right knee over left. Hug the inner thighs, inner knees together. Option to wrap that right foot behind the left calf or kickstand it on the floor beside you. Find the strength and stability in the legs first. And then if you choose to do so, arms reach out to T. We wrap the right arm under left for eagle arms. Options here would be to take your hands to your shoulders, or if you can, wrap elbows, forearms, wrists, and press the palms into the center. Stack your shoulders directly over the hips. Sink a little lower into that left ankle. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Here you're using the position of the arms to straighten the spine. Draw the front ribs in. Feel that balance. And then slowly, without urgency, begin to unravel. You can reach the arms out to T and then bring them back to heart center. Sit back into your chair. Press your palms together and then mirror that action in your inner knees, inner thighs. Transfer the weight to the right foot. Cross left leg over right. Same options here. Either wrapping all the way around or kickstanding. I want you to really avoid twisting to the right here. So square the hips to the front. Feel what that does to the sensation, to the muscle activation. And then option to bring the arms out to T. Wrap your left arm under for eagle arms. Garudasana. Imagine yourself as this stoic eagle perched high up in a tree. I want you to feel that stability, that confidence, that unwavering steadiness that you might find in an eagle. Press the palms, forearms, elbows, and then mirror that in the legs. Last big breath. Slowly start to unravel. Bring the hands to heart, sit back into your chair. As you exhale, fold over the legs. Feel that fold deepening with every breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, direct path to downward dog or pause in plank for an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Make sure the shoulders are buoyant, they're floating. Inhale to your back bend, stretch the legs back wherever you are. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the big toes to touch. Inhale, right leg rises. Again, keeping the hips square. Exhale, step your right foot through between your hands. This time, turn your back heel flat. Move from the big toe side to the heel to internally rotate that back hip as best as you can. It will likely pop open just a little bit, but we're aiming for square hips here. And then press down and forward with the front foot from the heel to the ball. And then slowly rise in warrior one. Feel this power in the legs. Keep moving the right shin forward, left heel, left calf back behind you. Square the shoulders if you can. Arms can stay as they are or interlace the fingers. Release index finger and thumb. So as you press the palms together, try to separate the upper arm bones, create some expansion across the chest. Big breath in, slow breath out. And then inhale here. As you exhale, lean, stretch the fingertips toward the front of the room. Keep pressing through that back heel. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean. Inhale and exhale. Let there be no urgency here. I want you to feel that smooth flow from one position to the next, smoothing out the hard edges. Last one, inhale. As you exhale, reach forward, stay here. Turn onto the ball of the back foot, square the hips. On your exhale, transfer the weight, warrior three. Level the hips once again. We've got more challenge here because we have the weight of the arms outstretched. That longer lever creates more tension, More strength in that standing leg, the spine. Wrap the inner left thigh up in space. Press the sole of the foot straight back. Last big breath, soften the shoulders away from the ears. And as you exhale, release the hands. Let the left foot land. Inhale, either plank or downward dog. Your exhale, bend the elbows straight back. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Activate the legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step the left foot through between your hands, back heel flat. Same thing here. Press from the big toe side to the inner heel of the back foot to rotate that right hip forward. Send the left shin as far forward as you can. Create separation in the thigh bones. Inhale, reach the arms up. You can keep the hands separated, just stretch them overhead. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, draw the front ribs in. Then you have the option to interlace the fingers if you wish. Maybe crossing the fingers in the opposite way. Try to broaden the inner armpits, the shoulders apart as you hug the hands. So it's a bit of a bind here where we can breathe into that positive pressure. Big inhale. Exhale, lean forward. Press that right heel back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach forward. You're lengthening the spine, lengthening the limbs here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach up, last one. And as you exhale, stretch it forward, pivot on the back toes. Send that right leg high for warrior three. Find your balance, level the hips, stretch the fingertips and the right toes in opposite directions. Big breath in, slow breath out. Gently release the hands, let the right toes land. As you inhale your vinyasa, either plank or straight to downward dog. Feel the power in the arms, that opening in the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay for a breath. Then as you inhale, roll forward, let the knees hover just below the hips. Straighten the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, bear plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lower the heels. Inhale, so we roll the spine up and then find that neutral spine in bear plank. And back to downward dog. So as you inhale, come forward, lengthen the crown away from the tail, close the gap between hip points and low ribs, and back. We'll take two more. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, back. Last one. Inhale and exhale. As you inhale, gaze forward between your hands, bend your knees, lift your heels. And then at the bottom of the exhale, step or lightly float the feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands through the heart. Samastitihi, relax the hands. We have one more sun salutation B. We've been through variations of warrior one, and now we'll open it up in warrior two. But before we begin, inhale, chair pose. Sit nice and low, bring your hands to your heart. Start to lift the heels, hug the big toes, inner knees, inner thighs together. And then nice and slow with the spine straight, lower your hips to your heels. Relax the hands to the mat, press your finger pads. Keep the big toes and your heels touching, splay the knees open. Feel that lengthening in the inner thighs. We're working toward crow pose here, an advanced posture, so I encourage you just to be playful with it today. Don't sweat it if you don't take flight. That is okay. We'll take the hands down. I want you to tops of the toes, heel to sitting bone, and then the left heel to sitting bone. Feel that activation. Draw. And then maybe for the sitting bones, keep the chest nice and open. Drop the hips if you can. in, all the while keeping the gaze out in front. Try not to look at your feet or your hands. And then ready, come back, pose, inhale. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Your choice, either stepping, maybe jumping back. If you jump back, you're landing in chaturanga, or breaking it up into plank and that low push-up. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big toes touch, left heel grounded. Inhale, open your right leg. This time, allow that hip to open. Bend the knee, feel that stretch in the inner left thigh, square the shoulders. Then come through center, re-extend the leg. Exhale, step that right foot through. Set up the feet for warrior two, so your back heel turns flat. The front heel aligns with the center of your back arch. Keep the right shin moving towards the front of the room. Anchor the knife edge of the back foot. I want you to take your left hand, right sitting bone under, and then slowly rise, warrior two. Big breath here. Stack the shoulders over the hips so we're not leaning forward. Nice and even. Telescope the rib cage out of the pelvis as the pelvis drops down. Feel with that proprioceptive quality when your arms are level and even. We're just going to add a little bit of flow here. As you exhale, forearm to thigh, reach that left arm overhead. I'll be opposite you in movement. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach that right arm behind. Exhale, extended side angle. The legs are steady and strong. They don't move. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale here. And inhale. Last one, exhale. Inhale, come back through warrior two. I want you to heel toe your back foot in just a little bit. Bend deeply into that right knee. Reach through your right fingertips. Get really long through the right side waist. Then gaze down in front of your right foot. Left hand to left hip. Start to reach for the floor and then transfer the weight from your left foot to your right. Once you're there, stack the hips, stack the shoulders. Make sure as you gaze down the front line of your body that you can wiggle and see your left toes. Then I want you to, almost like you're tucking the right glute, the right tailbone under, lift the pubic bone toward the navel. Work to open that hip, that right hip. Lengthen both sides of the waist. Stretch the crown of the head forward. Maybe you reach that left arm high. And play with the gaze here. Challenging your balance, maybe gazing out in front, maybe even up toward your left fingertips. Big breath. And then we'll slowly bend into that right knee. Nice and controlled, lower the left foot down. Take your left hand to the mat, find your lunge. Either straight to downward dog or inhale plank. Exhale chaturanga, chest floats. Inhale cobra or up dog. Exhale downward facing dog. Step the big toes to touch. Inhale, left leg rises. Let the hip open but square the shoulders. Soften the crown of the head, relax the shoulder blades away from the ears. And then square the hips once again, re-extend the left leg, exhale, step it through. Prepare the feet for warrior two, front heel bisects the back foot. Right hand reaches for the left sitting bone, roll it underneath you. You can even wrap the inner thigh underneath you. Then nice and smooth, open up warrior two. Keep moving that left shin towards the front of your mat, pressing the knife edge of your right foot behind. Square the shoulders over the hips. Find that point where your arms are even. Let the pelvis descend as you lift up through the rib cage. And then here, as you exhale, left forearm to thigh, right arm reaches overhead. Keep space in the sides of the waist. Inhale, reverse warrior. Resist the temptation to rush through the breath here. Inhale, open it up. Feel that beautiful fluid quality in the arms here. Exhale. And that stability, the foundation, the earth element in the legs. So we blend the two here, the earth element in the lower body, the water element in the upper body here. Last one, exhale. As you inhale, come up through warrior two. Right hand finds the right hip. Heel toe your back foot in just a little bit. We're going to reach the left fingertips as far out as they'll go. So we're lengthening the left side waist. And then touch your left fingertips down. Transfer weight from the right foot to the left. Float that right leg up. Stack the shoulders, stack the hips. Lift the left toes off the mat so the four corners of the foot are anchored. We want to avoid gripping in the toes. Lengthen both sides of the waist. Stack the shoulders. Maybe reach that right arm up. Ardha Chandrasana B. Half moon. Make sure your hips are directly over that front ankle, not leaning too far forward or back. Make sure you can see your toes wiggling down the front line of the body, and then challenge your gaze here. Last big breath. Bend into your left knee. Control that landing of the right foot. Nice and slowly touch to the floor. Find your lunge. Optional vinyasa or downward dog. Move through at your own pace with your breath as a guide. We'll meet in downward facing dog. From here, just a little bit more core activation, and then we'll be cooling it down. As you inhale, roll forward to plank, hug your right knee into chest. Exhale back to downward dog. Take your left knee into chest, round in the spine, press through the hands, create space. Back to downward dog. This is our new pattern here. I want you to experiment with the position of the spine so we're not really coming through plank. We're keeping more of that downward dog shape with both feet on the ground, and then just rolling, rounding the upper back, creating that coil of the belly in. Let's enjoy after this one more time each side. Last two. And last one. From here, gaze between your thumbs, bend your knees, lift your heels. Option to step or float the feet to the hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. We finish our final sun salutation. Exhale, samastitihi. Relax your hands by your sides. From here, we'll reach the arms overhead and exhale, fold. Hands touch down, lift the heels, bend the knees, ball pose, squat. Stretch the backs of the feet. And then nice and easy, we'll just lower onto the back. Hug your heels towards your sitting bones. Relax your shoulders, arms by your sides. I want you to press into the triceps so you feel a lift in the upper back. And then very slowly from the tailbone, I want you to curl under, lift the hips into bridge pose. Tuck the triceps, the shoulders underneath you. You may even interlace the fingertips for a bit of a bind. I want you to hug the inner thighs, inner knees to the midline, press through the heels. Try to take the sensation out of the lower back by neutralizing that curve. That means we take the sitting bones toward the inner knees here, flatten the low belly. We've got that neutral spine. Press down. Create so much energy in the legs, the glutes here. If it feels good, you can even take the peaceful fists or palms to your lower back, the sacrum area. Just get that beautiful opening across the front body. Back bending, a very energizing posture, very activating. If you ever feel an afternoon slump, just enjoy a bridge pose. It can go a long way to keep you alert. And then slowly come back down. Knock the knees in, the feet come out. And then just windshield wiper the legs side to side. Freeing the lower back, releasing any sensation there. And as you're ready, hug the knees into chest. Roll on the lower back to massage. Then we'll lower the knees over to the left. Gaze to the right, supine twist. You can use your left hand to help stack that right knee and then heavy the right shoulder back to the earth. Again, just like we've been working on in our warrior postures today, we're going to lengthen both sides of the waist here. Breathe into that positive pressure of the twist. Slowly come through center, hug the knees, and switch sides. Gaze to the left. Relax the low back, the low belly. Hopefully you feel a little bit of heat, more energy circulating through the body now. Again, this yoga practice is a way to unlock that which we already have, but maybe we've been feeling a bit stuck. So we just move that energy through the body, create those clear pathways. Come back through center as you're ready. From here, we'll enter our final resting posture for a minute, maybe two. So I want you to find a place where you can be completely relaxed, whether that's knees knocking in or legs outstretched. Maybe you're on your side. Take one very big breath in, and then with a sigh, let it go. With that, release control of your breath. Move your jaw side to side, lick your lips. Soften the muscles around the eyes and the forehead. And give yourself permission to rest. And with your next breath in, invite movement to the fingers and toes. Circle the wrists, the ankles. Maybe bend your knees and let them drift side to side. You might stretch your arms overhead. Feel all this new space that you have to occupy in your own body from the inside out. Gently roll to one side, letting the head and the gaze remain heavy. And then begin to journey back up to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you in this moment. Once you're there, lift up nice and tall through the spine. Let your eyes close for just a moment more. I want you to create that same body scan from head to toe. And here we're looking for even the subtlest of change, so that we might celebrate our practice, celebrate what we can receive from our effort. Let your eyes blink open. I want to take this moment to thank you so much for showing up to this practice today. I hope it has elevated your mood and your energy level, even if just that little bit, something just to create that uplifted energetic quality for the rest of your day. So thank you for being here and for letting your body be moved.